And welcome back to another episode of Life in Prison. My name is Zach. For anyone that's new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell notification button so you're first informed when I upload. And for anyone that's returning, go ahead and hit that like button so I know that you're still here. So today we're going to be getting into is the reason why people end up joining gangs and organizations. The only thing I can speak on is myself and the ones that have been around me that I've been able to talk to. And everyone's got their own different reasons, you know. Like I said in the previous video and on my interview with Lockdown 23 and 1, you know, I'd mentioned that, you know, I didn't grow up in the streets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have commented, you know, why'd you go down this path? You know, why this, why that? You know, a lot of things happen, you know what I'm saying? And what I can speak on for myself is I didn't need to join organization gang for protection, more or less. And this is what I want people to think of too. With the organization that I went into, right, with me being only one of 3 black members, right, you would think if it was for protection, I would go into an all-black gang, right? It'd be more of us. Instead of me being an outcast, like I said, I was the only black DMI member on the compound for 4 years. I was the outcast. By joining, it actually brought me more crap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, it was my decision to do this and do that, but I got myself more time. So protection, that's out the window. You might have a group of friends that you guys are very, very close with, and you've been doing things your whole life since little kids going all the way up. You know what I'm saying? There's a pact. There's a bond there. Exactly in prison, when you have a certain amount of individuals that you're around for years and years and years, you create this bond. So if you guys all have the same mindset in the same way of thinking, then it works out. And it's not, gangs and organizations it's not always about turf wars, drug trade. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of that involved because that's how some of these are fueled. Don't get me wrong, some people hold regular jobs and are part of these things, but that does fuel a lot of these, you know, different gangs pretty much. And what I can say is there was a lot of violence involved. Whenever you deal with prison in general, there's going to be a lot of violence, you know what I'm saying? But most time, I never went out looking for it, right? Whenever something came up, that's when you deal with stuff. You don't want to. Another thing, you know, people talk about being a crash dummy, right? This is what you should understand. If you are not a part of an organization, right? Or even if you are, right? Let me ask you this. Why would you want your own brother to go do some dummy stuff, right? Some roundhead stuff, some crash dummy stuff, where you go out there and just steal a bunch of stuff in plain sight, or just go start beating up dude in the middle of a pod. Go run up into one of these different buildings and steal someone's stuff in front of COs. Carry stuff and, like, you know what I'm saying, hey, carry this big ass knife for me. Like, no one that I was around ever did any of that stuff. You gotta think, right? If you're a man, right? Because in prison, that's where you are. You're a man in prison, right? If you're in prison, who's gonna tell you to do what they should do themselves, right? And if you are that weak to do it, then we want no parts of you. You get what I'm saying? If you're a weak individual like that, like, take this in for me. Knowing damn well they're gonna get caught, why would you want your homeboy? Why would you want your road dog to get caught with stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? If you're that weak to be a crash dummy, or if you're that weak to be like that, you're not gonna be a part of the part. You know what I'm saying? Every time I got hit with something, right? If I get hit with a weapon, if I got hit bringing something out of somewhere, if I got hit carrying this, it was stuff that belonged to me. And there's a lot of people that watch my videos that did time with me, and there's still people that I talk to that I did time with. They can vouch for all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, people portray things that they're really not, and you'll start seeing this. You know, YouTube is a very, very vast place, right? Once you start getting clout, or once you start getting views, if you've been lying about something, and if you didn't live this type of life, or if you're really not like this, or if you're a rat, or if you were a punk, or if you weren't really living that life in prison or on the streets, all this stuff is eventually going to come out. Since day one, you can go through all my videos. Since day one, I've been saying it's easier to be yourself than it is to be somebody else. Times like this, because you gotta think, alright, so I always say in prison, it's drama. It's always drama, right? Well, out here on the streets, what I've started to notice is YouTube is exactly the same way. A lot of these dudes that I've been watching for years and years, and more or less have kind of gave me the courage to come out on video on myself and open up my own channel. I'm seeing a lot of these dudes, things are coming out in the woodwork. That's this dude really wasn't living how he's been portraying that he was living, or was living this gang life, but then has interrogation videos out there where he is blatantly snitching. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you're claiming to be something else and that you're not, it's okay. It's alright to be yourself. You'll be more like being yourself than trying to portray somebody else. I don't know why a lot of other people would join gangs or organizations. They might feel that they need it, right? For protection wise, you gotta think, certain people automatically assume that when they go into prison, they're gonna be done for, right? So in jail, they start getting down with these gangs and organizations. It's actually going to be worse for you, and I keep saying this, and I'll keep preaching this also. If you feel like you need to join something because of protection, you're only going to bring more pain on yourself, because now there is a target on your back, because you're carrying this flag which everyone else is carrying that they're beefing with. May it be, I don't know. I don't know what situation people might be going through. Me, like I said, I didn't have to join anything, but I wanted to show the people that I've been hanging around that I've fully had their back. I could have went about it a whole different type of way and still been fine, but that was the choice that I went, right? Another thing I've seen people ask, with you being a felon, how is it that you're able to be in the medical field? So certain states are different, right? As long as you do not have a violent charge or a drug charge, then you can go into the medical field, right? Now, there's certain things that you will not be able to do. Certain places won't hire you if you do have a felony on your record, but I was able to go get my medical assistance degree, and I've been working in the medical field since 2018. First, I went into ophthalmology. I worked at an eye doctor's office, right? I was there for about a year, and then I switched over and started working in urgent care just because I like working with patients that's something new on a regular basis, right? In ophthalmology, I was either doing glaucoma or cataract stuff, sitting there on the autorefractor all day. If anyone knows anything about med terminology, an autorefractor is, you're just sitting there while these people are looking into this device. It's doing that day in, day out. It wasn't me. I like moving around. Even though I really wasn't trying to work a 12, 13-hour shift, going back to the urgent care, it's something new every day. Even though it might be COVID 40 COVID patients and a few x-rays and a few lacerations. A lot of people come in for, just think of anything people are coming in for, except for, we've had a few gunshot wound people come in. If you get shot, don't go to urgent care, okay? Just don't do it, all right? We can't do anything. You gotta think. We are in urgent care. We are not a hospital, right? So there's only so much stuff that we can actually do for you. But the reason why I went into the medical field is because I'd been, once getting out of prison, I kind of talked in a few other videos, I'd been working in these factory and warehouse jobs, right? Well, long term, I saw people, it was just blowing them out, right? They were messed up, all right? And I didn't really want to go down that route. So I like talking to people. I feel it's easier to talk to somebody that's new and you don't know, because there's a lot to learn, opposed to talking to people that you might know, right? So I figured if I can help people to the best of my ability and get paid to do it while being in a controlled environment, right? It's not going to be too hot, it's not going to be too cold, right? If I can do that while getting a paycheck and helping others, that's the best way to go. I would like to further my career. You know, YouTube is a whole nother opportunity where I can pretty much open up my life if I wanted to and get your guys' opinion. You know, how can I better myself while getting out of prison? I'd like to eventually become a registered nurse. You know, I'd like to get my RN, but with that, it takes time and money. I can't stop working full time at the urgent care to then go to school to eventually make more money because I still have bills in between. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, that's YouTube is another great way for people to make money and help others at the same time. You know, for the ones that will listen or for the ones that might have something in common, there's a lot to be learned. You know what I mean? Just because I'm on here on camera, it doesn't mean I can't learn from you guys who are actually watching me. Big shout out to Stone Collective Podcast. My buddy Caleb over there, Stone Collective Supply Company on Instagram, has started a new channel. So he deals a lot with mental health, and he was in the military, you know, to help others that are willing to listen. You know, like I said, he deals a lot with mental health, PTSD coming out of the military. There's a lot of things that happen. So go ahead and show him some love over there at Stone Collective Podcast over on YouTube. Keep your head up. If you haven't already done it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you're first informed when I upload. As always, I send my utmost love, Lord, to respect. Keep y'all heads up and have a good day.